Monday, the UK launch for Seint is live, and so I'm jumping on today. We're going to do our makeup, and I'm going to teach you all about one compact makeup today. So if you are a friend of mine in the UK, if you are just getting your new palette from me, if you have a palette and you're not trying to use it, this video is going to be for you. We are going to be doing the one compact makeup that I use all the time. It's cream based. So jump on, say hi, and we're gonna do our makeup together. Go ahead and make sure to, at any point when I do post this on my main page, if you want to get a color match for this makeup, all you have to do is comment match and I will send you my free color match form, and it will be an easy process because I help you pick all the colors for you. So my name is Lauren. I'm 43 years old. I'll be 44 in like a week and a half, which I'm telling myself this over and over. It's the way I like accept my aging. But I know mature skin. I have mature skin, and so I love giving you easy makeup tips on how to wear makeup, love makeup again as your skin changes. So if you are one of my Seint customers, if you are someone who wants to use Seint, you have any questions during this live at all, please ask. I'm gonna just break it down and make it really simple for you. So if you're on here and you're like, what is Seint makeup? Let me explain it to you. So Seint makeup is this one compact system where everything in this compact is going to be for your entire face. So if you are someone who, one, is not sure you're good at makeup, which you are, I promise, this is gonna be for you because you don't have to have 1,000 products. If you are someone who is a minimalist, you want to just have all your products in one place, this is gonna be for you. If you're someone who travels a lot, this is gonna be for you. If you're a busy mom, I can think of a million reasons why this palette is for you. But these are all magnetic tins. So let me show you how this works. They come in little tins like this, and they just magnetize into your compact like this. Nothing falls out. Okay, so these little tins are all cream based. They don't have water in them. So the number one question I get is, do these last very long because they look tiny? They do. They're not water. There's no water in them. So they're not going to, you don't need as much product. It's very pigmented. So they're gonna last for a long time. Your highlights, which are your foundation shades, those are gonna last 2 to 4 months if you wear a foundation, a concealer every single day. If you wear blush every single day, bronzer, those are gonna be 6 to 12 months. So we're gonna do the collection 8 because I feel like that's the most easiest one, I guess, to explain. If you get the collection 12 for me, it does have eyeshadows. These are pre-made palettes too. I do free color matches. I match you, and then you get them, you put it together, and you have everything you need in one spot. It's a really cool thing. I love creams. Really quick, I got this question the other day. Why do I love creams for mature skin? I love creams for maturing skin because as our skin changes, if you're wearing a liquid foundation or a powder foundation, one, we become more dry and dull. It's gonna sit differently on the skin. Liquid has water in it, so if you notice that your skin is dehydrating throughout the day, it gets patchy, your makeup's wearing off. Creams don't have that. Cream sits like a second layer of skin. So it looks like your real skin, and so it's very natural. And that's kind of, as we get older, in my opinion, and how I like to teach makeup, natural is the way to go. So someone just asked me where my hoodie was from. Comfort. I have a code for it too. I'll make sure I put that in the description in this video too, but these are my favorite. They're so good, these hoodies. If you haven't tried the sweatsuits from Comfort, highly recommend. Okay, so when you get a color match from me, you can tell me what size of a compact you want. We have a size 4 compact, which would just be four tints. We have an 8, which has 2 layers like mine, or we have a 12, which is a little bit bigger. It's about this much bigger, and it has eyeshadows in it too. So you can really get the whole thing and have your whole makeup replaced, okay? Yes, if you only want 2 eyeshadows, we do. We have a smaller compact. It's like it's called the square compact, and you can put just eyeshadows in it. You could fit 2 lip and cheeks. You could fit 4 eyeshadows, a bronzer, a highlight. Like, it's really great. Yes, Janice, message me, please send me a private DM and I will send you the ingredients. It's very good for mature or for sensitive skin. But I always like to send the ingredients list because a lot of people have sensitivities. And so I just like to be really transparent with that. So I can definitely send that list to you. Okay, so when you get this is a pre-made compact. We have different levels. It comes with, if you get the collection 8, it comes with this brush. This is the 3D brush. One side is more of a kind of like a, I don't know, like a pretty dense circular side. This one's more of a dome side. So all of our brushes are double-ended. And so you're getting 2 brushes for the price of one, which is really great. So once again, you're minimalizing your makeup routine, your products, all of the things. What I believe it's the 12. Maybe the 8 does too. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. It's gonna come with this brush too. This is the blush and bronzer brush. These brushes are really great, and I'm going to use them today and show you how to use them, because a lot of you guys are getting this brush and you're like, how do I use this? So like I said, this is gonna be a video you're gonna wanna save. Okay, when you get your makeup, they come in those little tins that I showed you. They look like this. So I'm gonna show you really quick how I would set up my palette. I like to set up my palette in the order that I'm going to actually apply the products. And I don't like to put my contour and my bronzer next to each other because it's confusing. So this is my contour. Contour is going to be ashy. It's not gonna have warmth to it, so it's gonna add shadow dimension to the face. Seint has a 3D foundation, and it includes your main highlight, which is the main color of your skin, your foundation shade, your brightener highlight, which is something that's going to brighten, it's gonna help with hollowed areas, help with brightening, and just helping your face look more skin-like when you use 2 colors instead of just one foundation color. And then your contour, which is going to lift, add dimension, recede areas. So those 3 things together are going to be what makes your skin look really natural. If you've seen someone wear cream-based makeup and they're wearing those 3, it's gonna look very natural. And then it has 2 blushes in it. So you can kind of play with them. A collection 8 and collection 12 have 3 highlights, so just another foundation shade. You may not use this until the summer. You may use this to correct areas of the face. If you have more texture, going a little darker can help. So having 3 highlights, you can mix, you can match. It's going to give you much more realistic skin-like looking makeup. And then you have an illuminator and a bronzer, and I'm gonna show you how to use all of those, okay? So let's just get started. The first thing you wanna do is make sure you have your good skincare. So I've already put my skincare on. And then you wanna make sure your skin is prepped. So you can use a primer. I personally recommend using the makeup first. And if it's not staying the staying power that you want, or you have really oily skin, message me, I can give you some good recommendations, but just you can use a primer. You definitely will have to have a setting spray for this makeup as well, which I didn't grab, so I'm gonna kind of tell you when I would use a setting spray in between everything. But other than that, your skin is prepped. Your moisturizer should be like 100% into the skin. You should give it some time before you go straight in with creams. Creams are hydrating, so if you have moisturizer on and then you go straight in with creams, it's gonna be slipping and sliding. We don't want that. So, okay, we're gonna start with this domed edge. And there's a couple ways to apply it, and I have a lot of videos on this, so if this isn't a way that you wanna apply it, there's other ways that you can apply it. But you can use your finger, or you can use the brush. If you're the first time user of creams and you're using a brush, it's so easy to get too much product on your brush. So make sure you're not putting all this product on the brush and then onto your face. If your face makeup at all feels heavy, cakey, or oily, way too much product, okay? So just know you should not feel this on your skin. Creams, people get really worried they're gonna be heavy. That's because it's too much product, okay? When I do this correctly, I don't feel this on my skin. Okay, taking the domed end, we're gonna go into this contour, and we're gonna feel for our cheekbones. Now, you're gonna use your face as a roadmap, okay? Always when you're putting on contour, any of this actually. So if you don't feel like you need to contour your cheekbones, you don't have to. If you don't feel like you need to contour your nose, you don't have to. Your lips, your forehead, your jawline, okay? This is me just showing you kind of as a whole where you can contour. So I like to feel for the prominent part of the cheekbone. Now, back in the day, we were taught to make a fish face, and we would put our contour down here. But what happens is that just makes it a little bit too low. So really going on the rounded part of your cheekbone is where we wanna place that contour. Not too high. You wanna keep this area right here nice and bright. So really for most people, it lines up somewhere kind of above where the edge of the ear is. But we don't wanna go too low, and we definitely don't wanna go too high. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a line on the prominent part of that cheekbone from the ear, so the edge of the hairline, to the edge of the eye. And I'm just gonna go just like this. Now I'm doing it really light, so I'm gonna go back in and show you. So I'd rather apply less product than too much, okay? So I'm just gonna go like this, and I'm using a contour that's not super dark. I personally don't like too dark of a contour. Some people do. Now let me show you with your finger on the other side just how you can do this. You could just go straight in like this, And you can see it's a little thicker line. That's why I kind of like going in here. It looks a little bit more natural. So just showing you the difference of how you could apply, okay? We're gonna blend it out and it will be totally fine. Next, you're gonna go onto your forehead. If you have too large of a forehead, you wanna make your forehead appear smaller. That's why you're contouring your forehead. If you don't have those issues and that doesn't bother you, then you don't have to worry about your forehead. Biggest thing with contour with our foreheads, right here, on our temples, we're aging. And so that's hollowing. So if you've watched somebody put their contour and they come down into here, if you are getting a little bit older, you're over the age of 40, putting that there is gonna actually kind of bring the face in. It actually, dark is going to recede. So anywhere that you put a dark color, you're pulling in the face. So if you don't wanna pull in that face, you don't wanna apply a dark color there. So good rule of thumb is right around the arch of your eyebrow, even if you don't have it, just kind of think, kind of in that area. You wanna apply between where my 2 fingers are, and you wanna keep that right at the hairline. So as close to the hairline as you can. So now I'm keeping this area light and bright. I have right here where I want to make that kind of recede. If your forehead is longer and you wanna make it even shorter, you can bring that contour down. So wherever that contour comes down is where that darkness is going to be, which is gonna make it look smaller. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Next is our jawline. A lot of us, as we get older, totally normal, we're getting loose skin right here, okay? So in order to combat that, we can use a contour to kind of give our jawline the appearance of a kind of more like snatched jawline, okay? So I'm just gonna go here. Biggest tip for jawline contour. We don't wanna be on the face. I've seen a lot of people doing that with contour and that can look really dirty. The whole point of contour on the jawline is going under the jawbone because that's gonna give us that kind of like pushed back look. But if you're up here, it's just gonna look dirty. So it's not doing anything. So what I like to do is kind of take my knuckle like this and kind of feel underneath where my jawline and my jawbone is. And that is where I'm going to be placing that contour. So directly underneath, okay? We don't wanna be here, we don't wanna be here, we wanna be underneath. And the biggest placement that's really important is right here, if you're wanting to get that really strong jawline that we had when we were younger. So I just start right here and I'm just gonna go underneath and pull it up to the ear on both sides. Now, if you have a double chin, you can even bring it down a little bit lower like this, and that's gonna camouflage that loose skin, okay? So those are just some different ways you can do that. Nose is, I've showed some videos for nose contour, but I'll just do it really quick. I'm just gonna stay right on the top of the nose. You don't need to overdo your nose contour. So just like this, you can come here if you have more of like, you wanna shorten the nose. And if you have not a long nose, you can attach it up to the eyebrows, okay? That's it. And then I'm just gonna use my finger to put it right under the lip to give that illusion of a larger lip. I have no lips, so that for me is a good trick. Okay, that's your contour. Super easy. Now with creams, it's a 1-layer system, so I'm not gonna be layering all my foundation on first, then all my concealer, then all my contour, then my bronzer. I'm actually kind of doing it paint by number style. So you're gonna see that less is more, but I'm still gonna get the coverage with what I'm doing. So because I have my contour on, that's a roadmap for where everything else is going to go. Now I'm gonna turn my brush over. I was using the domed end. Now I'm gonna use this kind of rounded end, and I'm going to go into my main highlight color, which is your main foundation, okay? I kind of put a little dent in there. That's why I'm laughing, because it's fine. It's still really usable. Now for me, unless I use a really good self-tanner, Athens, which is a level 3, is too dark. So I like to mix the 2 colors, which is my concealer and my main foundation shade. My son just got home, so in a minute, you're gonna hear a lot of dogs barking and you're gonna hear him come home, and we're just gonna take a pause for a minute, okay? So I'm just warning you. So what I like to do is I like to kind of tap into both and just kind of saturate the brush just a little bit. Now, it's really pigmented, so I don't need a lot. And like I said, you don't wanna feel it. I'm gonna start at the bottom part of my face. So if you were a man and had a beard, that's where we're gonna start. So basically underneath the contour is where we're going. And you're going to push this makeup into the skin. Like I hardly got any at all on my brush, and I hope you can see how that's offering coverage. With creams, you wanna push into the skin because it acts like a second layer of skin. If you swipe, it's just gonna take all your product off. So we're going around the contour into that area that I just explained. So if you were a man and had a beard, that's where we're going. Now you can pick up extra product like this, but I would really suggest make sure everything's off your brush before you move to the next part. So even with all of that I just barely put onto my brush, this is gonna give me coverage almost in that entire area. Now, if you're someone who likes more full coverage, that's your brush. So you wanna pick a brush that's more dense, and that's going to give you even more coverage. So your brush is actually what gives you more product. It's not layering the foundation over and over to get the coverage. Hopefully that makes sense. Once I've kind of done that area, I'm gonna work right here. I'm gonna leave my under eyes alone, okay? So same thing, and I'm just gonna press that in. I'm gonna come to the side of the nose, which here's my contour, so I'm just coming right next to it. And I'm just pressing above that contour, leaving that under eye alone, okay? Leaving that alone, really important. We don't wanna put too much under the eye, so I always like to leave that last. Now, everyone can do this differently too. There's lots of different ways to do it. This is just what I find works really nicely and easy. Okay, then we're going to come above the forehead, so right under that contour. And you can see I'm not layering, I'm just putting it where I need it. I'm even leaving my temples alone because I'm actually gonna highlight and brighten that area. And we're going to mix all of this together, so it's kind of magic how it all works. Here comes my son. We're gonna wait for just a minute. I'm gonna take a drink while I wait for him to come in. Hi Jay, I'm live. Okay, all right, so let me get my drink. He's just coming home from school for lunch. Okay, so now I've got my main foundation shade on. I am going to now put on my concealer. Now, I have found using this brush is a pain under the eye because you're gonna put way too much product under there and you're not gonna get it where you want it. So here's my suggestion for you. Your lightest color is going to be your concealer color. It's gonna be your brightener color. I like to tap my finger into it, so that's how much, like, did you see? Like, hardly any at all did I tap, and I'm just gonna get it on both fingers, okay? Now, I like to warm it up like this, and this is gonna make it go on so nicely under the under eye. I'm gonna apply some right here on the inner corner of the eye, and then I'm gonna apply it on the outer corner up to the temple, okay? Now that doesn't look like much, but I'd rather start with less and add more if I need it. And if you need discoloration coverage, that's a color corrector, which is not included in here, but when you do a color match with me, I do give you recommendations if that's something you want. So we're not gonna do a color corrector today, but I have a lot of videos on that I can show you as well, okay? So I'm gonna show you how I blend this out as well, because a lot of people get really concerned about, like, I'm not placing it on these fine lines and wrinkles. How do I actually get coverage? So I'll show you that. But I wanna show you where this placement goes. Okay, so next, I'm gonna just take it back on my finger and I'm gonna put it center of the face. That's where everybody looks, right? That's where we want people to look, so we're gonna brighten that area. I'm gonna go down the center of the nose just a little bit on the tip and the center, right here, and right here. Now, if you're hollowing, you can even put a little here, but we're just plumping those areas. Like, you can even see, I just barely put any there, and that just plumped that area. Those are those smile lines that we tend to hollow with, okay? So one thing, if you've noticed, all of this is kind of sitting on my face and I haven't blended it yet. There's a reason for that. I am trying to get the cream to melt into the skin even more. And so the heat from your skin, if you have a hard time blending cream makeup, let it sit for a minute, because that heat is actually melting the product into the skin. So your blending is going to be very easy. Now, this is where I would spray my brush with a setting spray at this point. I just didn't bring my setting spray over here, and I don't wanna go run and get it. So I would spray my brush, one that's gonna keep all your makeup on. I like to use setting spray like 2 to 3 times throughout my process. 2, it's also gonna help blend out everything really nice, especially your contour. A lot of people have a hard time with contour blending, so that setting spray is gonna help. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna start with we've done our main foundation. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of do our brightening color. I like to blend my lights then my darks. That's how, for me, it just blends very nicely. So I'm just gonna start right here, and I'm blending that kind of just up into this area. I really just want it, I don't want it all over, but I want it in an area that people are gonna look at. And then I'm just gonna turn this domed end again, and I'm gonna tap it down the center of the face, or the nose, I'm sorry, just like this. And then I'm gonna blend it here, and then I'm gonna turn my brush. I love these double-ended brushes because you just can use them in so many different ways, okay? So there is the middle of the face. Then I'm gonna turn it back to the domed end, And now here's where I like to blend out my concealer. Concealer is not meant to get rid of discoloration. A color corrector is, okay? So a concealer is only meant to brighten. So when you think about that, when you put a really thick concealer on that maybe we used in our 20s, you're gonna highlight all those fine lines and wrinkles. So if you hate putting makeup under your eyes, you're probably highlighting those areas we don't want to bring forward, but light is always bringing forward. Dark is receding. So if you're putting that there, you're going to have all your areas showing up that you don't want to. So what I like to do is I like to take that color down the side of my nose first. Then it's on my brush, right? Now that product's on my brush. Now I'm gonna go under the eye. And so I'm still going under the eye. I'm just not applying a ton of product there. And then I'm gonna come up to the outer corner of the eye and into the temples where I am hollowing there, so I wanna really get that. But you can see like just the difference of me applying hardly any product. I already got that to look less hollow. Now, could I go and put a little bit more on? Probably, I totally could. But I want you to see that less is more when you're using this makeup, okay? So same thing here. You're just gonna come down the side of the nose. Now, the other thing too is when you're using a concealer, you wanna make sure it's not too light. If it's too light, back in the day, I was using colors, we were taught to use colors that were too light. And so what that does is it just really settles. It's going to really show everything, especially if you have crow's feet here. Using too light of a concealer is not doing what we want, which is brightening. So I would suggest going up like 1 to 2 shades from if you're using too light of a formula, or look at your foundation shade and going up 1 to 2 or down 1 to 2 shades from there, sorry. And that can kind of help with that. Can we find these amazing products in Brazil? Gosh, I hope so soon. Not yet. But I have lots of recommendations for creams. So if you are someone who can't get Seint, can't get the one compact makeup, message me. I have a lot of other cream makeups I have used. I'm actually trying a lot behind the scenes because I know a lot of you can't get this. So I have suggestions for you as well. In fact, I can just tell you, LYS has a great stick foundation that is cream. Bosma, is that how you say it? Bama? That's Sephora. Ilia makes some great stuff. Milk makeup. But if you want everything in one palette, there's nothing really like that I have found. Northern Ireland, you can get this makeup today. So if you're in Northern Ireland, you can. And yeah, you're in London, good. So today we launched in the UK, which was also including Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England, I believe. So yeah, you guys, it's pretty cool. We've been waiting for I've been using this makeup for 5 years. So we've been waiting for a very long time for this to happen. Okay, I'm blending without telling you what I'm doing. Contour, okay, so I'm right here. I am not going to take this contour down. We don't want it here. I've already brightened. You can see that's already plumped up the side of my face. So now I'm just gonna take this, especially if you have blonde hair, see how I have that line? We're gonna push that back into the hairline. So if you have a receding hairline, contour is also going to be your best friend because it's gonna make you look like you aren't receding. So see, I'm pushing that back into the hairline. You don't want a strip of white there, so really make sure you pull your hair back to get that look. Republic of Ireland, oh gosh. I need to be more educated as to know where that is. But message me, maybe we can figure something out. Okay. So there's your forehead. Now we're gonna go over to the contour on the cheekbones. So when you are doing contour on the cheekbones, we wanna think lift. Yes, I will share this on my main page. I know, thanks for hanging with me. This one is longer, I know that, but I really wanted to make sure that you guys would really feel like you've got the hang of this when you get the makeup. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the edge using the rounded side, and I'm just gonna pull up to the temple. Okay, you want to have a shadow, not a line. If you have a line, you're not blending in enough. Oh, dang it. Okay, I'm sorry. Hopefully we get there soon. Okay, this side, I applied a lot more than I would normally apply. But I wanted you to see I used my finger, and I'm just going to blend this out. Contour looks really scary, but you can blend it, and look, now it's like a beautiful shadow. So that's gonna lift. Oh, I'm so glad. I feel like I would get all the colors all messed up on my brush with just 2 brushes. No, I'm using the same brush this entire time. Blending light to dark is honestly the key, and it blends together so beautifully. Like this looks like my real skin, and it's because creams aren't like any other products you've ever used. They're meant to blend together, so it's pretty magical. That's what I love about creams. You can't mess it up. You really cannot. You can be someone who's never touched makeup in your life and still have a great time with creams. So, okay, taking this, we're going to just lightly, I'm holding it down like a pencil, and I'm holding it light, and I'm just going to feather that down onto the line up to the eyebrow. So we don't want a harsh line with any of this. We just want it to look like a shadow that's naturally on the face. And where you hold your brush really does matter, you guys. Holding your brush down lower gives you actually more control, and you put less product on. Then I'm gonna go right under the lip, still using the same brush, and just blend that out. And then I'm going to turn same brush, and I'm going to pull this contour down, okay? And when I'm not talking, I can do this in less than 5 minutes. So just so you know, really is fast. It's just I'm trying to teach you, so it's gonna take a little bit longer today. Okay, so now I've got my foundation on. It looks natural, right? It looks healthy, it looks glowy. As we age, we lose that glowiness to the skin, so cream actually, because it's so hydrating, is going to bring that back. Now, if you're someone who has like little areas that you want a little more, I always go in with my finger and just tap onto that area. I had a little vein there, so I just fixed it. Super easy. All right, so now I'm gonna go into my bronzer, which is on my second level of my palette. See how I did that? Now bronzer looks really scary. This is Bella Bronzer. It's my favorite bronzer ever, and I've tried so many products. Here's a trick for you. Do not go straight onto your face with the bronzer. I'm actually going to use this brush to show you, but if you only have this brush, use this side of the brush to apply it, okay? The rounded side. This is the blush and bronzer brush. I'm going to tap in. This is so pigmented, like I would never go onto my face with this, okay? So what I would do is I would then take it onto my hand. See how much just came off? Now the other thing is it's not applied. You can see where it applied. It's not even. So if I go onto my face straight away, it's just gonna look patchy, and I don't want that. So I'm going to kind of just rub it onto my hand to really get it all over the brush before I put it on to my skin. So 1, you're not wasting product because you're gonna come back and forth, but 2, you're not gonna go on with so much product you can't take it away. So bronzer is going to go anywhere that the sun naturally hits you. So if you were at the beach, the park, it would hit the high points of the forehead. See how that just warmed up just a little bit? Now I can add more. I'm a bronzer girl. I love bronzer. So I'm gonna add more, but I wanted to show you just how that works. Back onto the hand. It's gonna hit the cheeks, the tip of the nose, and this is just gonna blend out. I'm just tapping though. Do you see I'm tapping? I'm not swiping. We don't wanna swipe. If we swipe, we're gonna take off everything we put on, and it's not gonna be even, okay? Now, it still looks scary, so just keep blending, okay? Don't worry about it, you didn't mess up. You can even take this away. If this is too much, bring it down the side of your neck. If this is too much, let me show you a trick. You can go in, same brush, with your highlight colors. Make sure I don't have too much. And you can tap over it, and it will give you a really natural look, okay? So creams, that's one good thing about them, you can't mess up because you can just go back in and it just all melts together really nicely, okay? There we go. Look how glowy I look and how just more like I look like I have a little bit of sun kiss look, right? Okay, now let's do our blush. So if you get the collection 8 or the collection 12, you're gonna have two, I think 2, maybe 3 in the collection 12 blush options. So you can mix and match them. You can use them on their own. This one has Hollywood and Boardwalk. Boardwalk is a little bit more nude. Hollywood is more pink. I love Hollywood. It's my favorite, so we're gonna use that one. We're gonna do the same thing because this is pigmented. I'm gonna go back onto my hand. I wanna make sure I coat the brush. I'm gonna use 2 fingers. I want a lifted look. It really depends on your face. If you're hollowing here and you wanna add more roundness to the face, going on those apples of the cheek is great. If you are wanting more of a lift, I like to take 2 fingers and just kind of apply that right above, like pretty much you're marrying the bronzer with your blush. So where the bronzer is, you're just going right on top, and it's gonna give you this nice lifted sun-kissed look. So 2 fingers again, and you can build this look. So if you are a blush girl and you want a really nice blush look, build your blush up. If you're someone who wants a natural flush, you can do as little product as I just did. You want to make sure you're getting it right up to that hairline. Really important. And you're just going to tap that on top. Okay, now you can use this as your lip and cheek color. Now this will not stay, it's not long wearing. So I do like to tell people that for the lips. I'm a gloss girl, so sometimes I'll do this and then put gloss on top, but it's a beautiful color. So this is Hollywood. But I love how cream blush just gives you that like glow from within. It's so pretty. But look at my skin. It looks healthy, it looks youthful, it looks younger. And it really is because cream makeup brings all of that hydration back. So last step is an illuminator. An illuminator isn't going to put a ton of color on the skin. I'll show you, but it is going to add glow to the skin. So when I turn my face, you're going to see that glow on my skin, which is really fun because that's what we lose. So I like to put it kind of in a C or a backward C. So I start right here and I use my finger because it's going to blend nice. And I'm going to go around the eyebrow. And can you see when I move my face, just how that gives a beautiful, nice glow to the skin? That's one thing we lose. We get really dull. And so this is bringing back that youthful glow. Okay, you can put it down the center of the nose, just to the tip of the nose if you want. Right here is a really good on that Cupid's bow. If you have smaller lips, it gives that illusion, but how pretty is that? You can also use it on the eyes. I'm gonna show you. I just tap that on the eyes and like add some eyeliner if you want, don't. If you don't want to, add mascara and you're out the door. Like so pretty, right? You even put a little bit under the eyebrow, under the arch, but I love it. So anyway, this is your Compact 8, okay? So this is your Collection 8. Like I said, you can customize this to you. You wanna make sure at the end of your application, you are spraying it. So you wanna use a setting spray to spray it. Lots of recommendations for setting spray. Seint has one, but I also have some other recommendations of ones I absolutely love. So you can always message me, ask me anything. But I hope this tutorial was helpful. So if you are new to Seint, you can use this. I put all of these videos on my main page, but I also put them on my YouTube channel. So if you aren't following me on my YouTube channel, go do that too, because you can pause it. And sometimes with these lives, that makes it easier. But I hope this is helpful. If you want a free color match, you can comment match when I post this on my page. I would love to help you. If you are a customer of mine as well, I do free FaceTime so I can help you work through your makeup issues if you are a customer of mine. So, all right, I'm so glad this was helpful. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I appreciate you so much. If you have any questions, I'm gonna post this on my page. Drop your questions, that's what I'm here for. But I hope you have a beautiful Monday and I will talk to you soon. Bye.